Since 2011, Radio Sindhi has left its listeners awestruck and glued to our jovial, entertaining, yesteryears and entertaining programs from East Coast to West Coast. Tune in now to America's biggest South Asian radio network, Radio Zindagi. In New York, New Jersey, Connecticut on 540 AM. In Parsippany, Central Jersey on 1310 AM. In Edison, New Jersey on 96.7 FM. In Houston on 102.5 FM. And in San Francisco, San Jose and entire Bay Area on 1550 AM. In Washington, D.C., Virginia and Maryland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android and online. In Dallas, Chicago, Toronto, Seattle and Portland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android and online. दुनिया सुन रही है और आप तो फिर रेडियो जिंदगी के संग जिए जा और मजे लिए जा. रेडियो जिंदगी is available on iOS, Android, Alexa and online. Download now. The Indian Eye, only Indian news weekly, available in digital, print and e-paper, published from USA. Global news from India and news about Indian diaspora. Premium publication from well-known and respected publisher Sunil Hale. The Indian Eye, content, quality and design that exceeds all expectation. To get your copy, email request to mytheindianeye@gmail.com. For details or to advertise, call 646-907-8022. That is 646-907-8022. We stand for truth. We are the Indian Eye.
How often have you turned away from debates that descend into endless fights?
Since 2011, Radio Sindhi has left its listeners awestruck and glued to our jovial, entertaining, yesteryears and entertaining programs from East Coast to West Coast. Tune in now to to America's biggest South Asian radio network, Radio Zindagi. In New York, New Jersey, Connecticut on 5:40 AM. In Parsippany, Central Jersey on 1310 AM. In Edison, New Jersey on 96.7 FM. In Houston on 102.5 FM. And in San Francisco, San Jose and entire Bay Area on 1550 AM. In Washington, D.C., Virginia and Maryland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android and online. In Dallas, Chicago, Toronto, Seattle and Portland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android and online. दुनिया सुन रही है और आप तो फिर रेडियो जिंदगी के संग जिए जा और मजे लिए जा. रेडियो जिंदगी is available on iOS, Android, Alexa and online. Download now. Indian Eye, only Indian news weekly, available in digital, print and e-paper, published from USA. Global news from India and news about Indian diaspora. Premium publication from well-known and respected publisher Sunil Hali. The Indian Eye, content, quality and design that exceeds all expectation. To get your copy, email request to mytheindianeye@gmail.com. For details or to advertise, call 646-907-8022. That is 646-907-8022. We stand for truth. We are the Indian Eye.
How often have you turned away from debates that descend into endless fights? We bring you a show where every question is answered, where every debate finds its resolution, where every story finds its conclusion, where opinions collide but facts prevail, where stories unfold with insights and trust. When the noise ends, the last word begins.
पांच 5000 सालों से पुरानी है हमारी प्रबल संस्कृति, जिसने प्रदान की उत्तर से दक्षिण तक और पूरब के छोर से पश्चिम के सागर तक एक विशिष्ट जीवन शैली और दिखाई भारतवासियों को सही दिशा. प्राचीनता और आधुनिकता के इस मिलन सागर की रोचक कहानियां लेकर आया है देश के सर्वश्रेष्ठ और नंबर 1 आध्यात्मिक चैनल नेटवर्क आस्था. आस्था नेटवर्क के अनेकों चैनल पर दिखते हैं देश के कोने कोने में हमारी सभ्यता की धरोहर. चारों दिशाओं में सनातन धर्म के भक्तों के महापर्व. देखो हमारे झरोखे से देश का हर प्रांत और लहराएं विशिष्ट कार्यक्रमों से सनातन का परचम ऊंचा. अब आप चाहें तो कभी भी कहीं भी आस्था नेटवर्क के सारे चैनल्स और उनके कंटेंट को.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? We're going to start the program over the next 5 minutes. Please gather your drinks and head to your seats. Thank you. I gotta read, and I don't want to like hold on to a mic, and I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like a.
I'm going to turn it on. It's on right now? Yeah, give me a minute. You're right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to request one more final time to please take your seats so we can start tonight's event. Everyone, please take your seats so we can start. Now, if you don't take your seats, you're going to be on a special camera and you'll be on the TV all over USA. So, you better sit down as we are getting ready to start the event. You all love media, so you're media lovers. You like to be on TV, or you like to have your articles or message printed either in a newspaper, or you like to listen to the radio. And that's what it's all about, radio, TV, and the print. As we have gathered here to announce a very significant, very important launch on a South Asian media, and why we are taking South Asian media to the next level. And that's why we're here. And today, you're going to find out what are the reasons we have, what are the platforms we have to take South Asian media to the next level. It is time for celebration. And, it's a double celebration. And to have this double celebration, double fun, double maja and everything, so that way, you're not going to have only me as your host. It's a buy one, get one free. With that note, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Miss Krupa, to come up here. Krupa is a recipient of numerous awards in both 2022 and 17. The Long Island Business News honored her as a top 50 women on the Long Island. Congratulations. In 2019, she received the Long Island Business News Diversity in Business Award. And of course, she has hosted a show on the radio Zingi called Voices New York. A wonderful host, talented individual, and Krupa is also a two-time Fair Media Council Folio Awards judge, a Long Island Imagine Awards judge, and a past Woman of Impact honoree for Girl Scouts of Suffolk County. Let's have a big round of applause for Krupa. Krupa, thank you so very much. You forgot your mic? Okay. So there you go. We are some of the people that we can't live without Mike. Mike is our best friend, so we have to have Mike with us.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev, and thank you for that incredibly warm introduction. But Sanjeev is too humble to say how wonderful he is, so that's why we have friends like me, because I love to brag how great he is. So for those of you that do not know Sanjeev Pandya, he is a known radio TV show host based in New Jersey. Sanjeev has been with Radio Zindagi since 2015. He is the Vice President of Programming right now for Radio Zindagi. He has been hosting TV shows on TV Asia and ITV. Another thing about Sanjeev is that he has been associated with Sunil Hali for over 25 years, delivering incredible content, uplifting media outreach to South Asians and mainstream media in this country. So thank you, Sanjeev, for your expertise.
Thank you, Krupa. Thank you so very much. We like to keep it in short as much as possible. All right, so why we are here today? As I mentioned that together, tonight we're going to launch a vital platform for our voices to be heard in South Asian media. So let me just give you a little bit of background. There are various media platforms. Started with Radio Zindagi. Radio Zindagi is now America's largest South Asian radio network. Started in the West Coast, in San Francisco, and then came to here, New York, New Jersey. And then slowly we expanded to DC, Maryland, Virginia, Houston, Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Toronto, and Portland, Seattle. And this is not it, because we're going to continue to add more and more frequencies of Radio Zindagi, because you can take Indian out of India, but you can never take radio out of India. No matter where Indian is, radio has to be part of that. Right, Krupa? You've been part of Radio Zindagi, you have hosted a show, and you know that how important it is, radio.
Absolutely it is. Radio is a very important format because it's one of the last few formats where the listener is 100% engaged, where they're hearing it. There aren't anything popping up on the screens. There's no distractions.
Yes.
It's you and the listener.
Okay, so radio was the first media and then expanded. With that, the other platforms were added were Indian Eye. Indian Eye is a digital newspaper, printed newspaper, and one of the most, very well written and articulately written digital and the print copy of Indian Eye, and then G Punjabi, of course, and then not to forget Divya Gujarati, that is also going to be coming up. Now the other three are the ones that we are here for to announce, to put it all together and that is going to be, I guess, signature under the Radio Zindagi Media, or you can call that, completely media platform under one roof. You're going to know more details about it. So really happy to know. And in today's day and age, when we know that media is important, media plays a very important role, because your messages has to be clear, messages has to be articulate, messages has to be true. There are very few media, and we've been doing that. Indian Eye has taken a lead to publish correct articles, to focus on what's important. Radio Zindagi is not only for music. Radio Zindagi is all for talk shows, to educate, to empower the community, to reach out to the community and to spread as many messages possible and be part of various associations, whether in New York or New Jersey. So my point is that as we continue to bring you the best media out there, that tonight you will know, and of course, you will definitely enjoy it, and we would ask your support. And, Krupa, South Asian media has come a long way.
Yes, it has. So I actually, for those of you that are from Long Island, I used to host a show on Long Island News Radio, which is Long Island's largest news radio platform. And then when I met with Sunil, I said, Sunil, let's deliver news content, business content, something that's away from entertainment. And Sunil was like, let's do it. And through Voices New York, we had some incredible guests that were on that show. So I encourage everyone in this room, if you haven't listened to Radio Zindagi or any of the other platforms that Sanjeev has mentioned, when you get out of here and you're driving back to your homes or your businesses or dinner or wherever you go, tune in, listen, say them as your favorites, and become a fan and like us.
You always, thank you, Krupa, for that. You always say that, we want to take media to the next level and we want to do better. And that reminds me a joke that one day one news anchor brought a letter to the studio, to the news studio. So everyone asked, why did you bring a letter to the studio? And he goes, because I want to take media to the next level. So that's what it is. These are the letters that we have, and we're going to continue to take media to the next level. With that note, we are getting ready to welcome our first guest here.
So for our first guest, it is my honor to introduce the Counselor General, the Honorable Binyas Shrikanta Pradhan. If you'll please come up, sir. And he is our keynote speaker. The Counselor General representing India in multiple states with about 2.5 million Indian Americans.
Very good evening, namaskar. Mr. Sunil Hali, Dr. Raj Bhayani, other distinguished guests, promoter of the media groups, reporters, journalists, senior media persons. Namaskar, and once again a very good evening. I think for last few months I have been hearing about this event from Dr. Raj Bhayani and Mr. Sunil Hali, and I at different point I had different impression about this event, but today, seeing such distinguished people in one room, now, getting to hear about the other prominent Indian, Indian diaspora media channels, it's really a great feeling to be here in the amidst of such a gathering. Now, I was told to speak about the role of media in the new India. I think I'll not do that. I think that's something everybody knows. That is not something which would interest people. But I'll be talking about a few things which would be related to that. Now, coming to media, our distinguished friends, when they're mentioning about media, it's originally a Latin word. It's a plural. The singular term is medium. So medium basically means an instrument to convey something. And for last 200 years, it has been used, and newspaper used to be the first medium of conveying something. And probably life was much simpler, the world was much simpler then. But despite that, media played a very important role even last 200 years before the advent of the modern media. And Of course, in democracies, we say media is the fourth pillar of the democracy. So whether it's in United States democracy or Indian democracy, both, I would say, the two most powerful democracies of the world, media has been playing a very important role. When we look at Indian freedom struggle, we all remember the role media played even at that point of time, whether it is Mahatma Gandhi's Harijan or the Young India or Bal Gangadhar Tilak's Kesari. They not only brought Indian people to understand what is the meaning of British colonialism, to bring the social issues to the forefront. It actually galvanized the Indian mind and brought them together to fight against the British imperialism. And of course, in post-independent India, we know the role media played. We all remember people like Ramnath Goenka, people who played a very pivotal role to uphold the democratic values and strengthen the democracy in India. Now, of course, media has been playing very constructive role in educating people, in social reforms, and I would say much before globalization happened, the media brought news in a globalized manner, and people, the first thing that we found truly globalized was, I would say, media, the news, much before globalization happened in the commercial world. Now, that's why when people say that media is the voice of the leaders, but it also is voice of the voiceless people, I would say that has been the case, and that still remains true even in the age of social media. Now, coming to India, it's very interesting space. Some people say it's the most active media space. I was going through the internet research, and I found 140,000 registered newspapers and periodicals in India, out of which 22,000 are daily newspapers in 189 languages and dialects. There are 900 television channels with about 300 news channels and 850 FM radio channels. And of course, now in the age of digital media with 840 active internet users, you can imagine what is happening in India. Now, in Facebook alone, we have 530 million Indian active users. So that's the digital media now. And now, of course, in India, you would find the podcast stars. They are much bigger than even television anchors. People having 50 million followers. That's the world of digital media now in India. And in that age, I would say certain things have still remained constant. That is the role of media in a constructive way. The way it is shaping the narratives in India, the way it is shaping the both the ruling class and the people who are being governed. Now, when I look at media in the globalized context, I would say it has played equally powerful role, and we find we get to see different facets of media here. It has, of course, not been immune from the vested interest. It has not been immune from the agenda of the powerful people. And it is, of course, not immune from the artificial intelligence and the deep fake. So while it remains a powerful constructive tool, it has also played divisive role. So what is important, I feel, is that in this age, media still plays the role to educate the world. And in a rapidly changing world, probably it has a larger, more important role now to educate people about what is happening, what is going to affect the people in 21st century. And what is required for that is, people say, 3 R's, that are rigor, research, and reach. If media continues to have the 3 basic tools, which is rigor, research, and reach, I'm sure, whether it is social media, digital media, or the traditional conventional media, they would continue to play that significant role and continue to remain relevant. Now, I would talk a little bit about what is, I would expect from this August gathering here. When I came here 6 months back, when I meet friends like you, people talk about different aspects, but many of you have told me about how the mainstream media in United States has not been very fair to the cause of India. And I would always ask friends like you as to what is it we can do. And I get various ideas, various suggestions, but I know that I'm too small as a consul general to think about, about changing the media narrative in the mainstream United States. But I'm sure you people can play that role. You people, have reach, you have influence, and now you have tools to not only reach to the South Asian community, but to reach to the mainstream American community. And I, of course, see the templates. When we were growing up in India, when I was a student of JNU, my professor at that time was an American educated lady, Sujit Mansingh, and she would tell us very often how in America in 60s, 70s, and 80s, people would think that India is somewhere, down there, and the land of snake charmers and whatnot. I thought probably in 2024 the narrative about India would be different, which of course is different, but it's not. It remains same in many other ways. And the templates about India being a poor country, India being a country where women are still suppressed, where democracy is still under threat, where democracy is yet to mature, or whether minorities are not safe. These are the templates that traditionally the mainstream media here holds dear to. And I would say that we all probably can work together to bring the perception of a modern India to the mainstream United States media. Now, today morning I was going through a Pew research that is about democracy, and they have surveyed in all the democratic, well-known, like the robust democracies, about how the people perceive about the democracy in those countries. And you would be happy to know that Singapore is number one, with 80% people feeling that the democracy is really functional there, and India remains number two, with 77% of people. With 77% of people feeling that Indian democracy remains a robust democracy. And it's a Pew research, not an Indian research. But despite that, I will not be surprised if New York Times tomorrow comes with an editorial about democracy in danger in India. So now, that's where I'll request the leaders here to play their role, not to limit our voice only to the Indian media, South Asian media, or the Indian diaspora media, but to take it to the mainstream United States. Recently in the consulate, we launched a Indiaspora report, which is done by Boston Consultancy Group. And that report talks about the contribution of Indian diaspora in the mainstream United States. The title of the report is something like A Small Community, Large Impact, and Boundless Horizon. And that report talks about how 5.4 million strong Indian diaspora is making an impact which is much bigger than 1.5% of our presence in the demography here. And that impact is not limited only to economic or the various aspects of hotel industry or healthcare, but it's also going beyond that, going to the world of innovation, going to the world of world of governance, global governance, policy making, and I'm sure media should not remain out of the reach that we have. Of course, we have few Indians who have made good names. Some of them are owning mainstream media, like Newsweek is now co-owned by an Indian origin person. But I would say we are yet to make that impact, yet to make that dent in the American mainstream media. And I would request the August gathering here today that besides catering to the South Asian community, I would request you to also look into that aspect. With that, let me thank the organizers, Mr. Sunil Hali, Dr. Bayani, and the other promoters. My sincere thanks for inviting me. I would say after meeting such distinguished people, I was wondering as to why I'm driving such a long distance of 1 hour 40 minutes, but I would say it's really a pleasure to see such a good gathering here and meeting many friends and many new friends here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Consul General Vinaya Shrikant Pradhan. Thank you so very much for overview on the media and suggestions and also information on Indian media. You said that you're too small to make a difference, which I don't think so. Let me just tell you that how consulate office played a very vital role during COVID. It was in the year 2020 when we were all confined in our homes and couldn't go out and everything, and a lot of people were very confused, what's going to happen, what not. At that time, Sunil Hali reached out to Consulate General of India's office and said that we need to do something because there were people who wanted to go to India. They had no idea, where to take flight and what to do and what not. So it was a chaos. We were getting calls in our studio, And I would be in the studio a few hours during the COVID, go up there and see, what we can do. Announcement was a one thing. Then what happened, Consul General at that time, Sandeep Chakravarti ji, agreed to come on the radio every Friday for 15 minutes. And every Friday, he would give an update, what flight is leaving from where, what they need to do, and whoever wants to catch the flight, Indian citizens, what they need to do, where can they go, who can they call, everything. And then that information was so useful that our listeners appreciated so much. That's the one part, and that played a very, very important role. And going forward with all these media platforms, CG, we hope that we're going to come up with something where we can let community know that how media can be part of your daily lives. At that same time, New York City Mayor now, Eric Adams, he was not mayor at that time. He was going to be running for mayor, and he was to come on the radio. So I would have Sandeep Chakravarti ji first and Eric Adams after that 15 minutes later every Friday morning. And then Eric Adams will give out all the information, what are the rules in the New York City, in the Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, what need to be done, what not need to be done. And here, on especially Long Island, 5:40 a.m., our frequency. Many of you and the other listeners reached out to us and said, thank you so very much because, we got this information, and that played a very, very helpful role. So media can be very helpful. You just have to, follow it. You just have to listen to it. With that note, as we continue, we'll be announcing some VIP guests here tonight present, so we'd like to thank them. And, esteemed guests, they are here now. Naveen Shah of Navika, Chintu Patel of MNeil, Shuddha Prakash Singh Jasuja, Bobby Kumar, Mohinder Singh Taneja. Let's have a big round of applause for this individual. And we're going to be announcing other names as we go along. All right, so with that note, we go to the next speaker, who is the promoter of Radio Zindagi. And of course, she, with her knowledge and experience, also makes a big difference. Miss Sejal Dasondi, born in Mumbai, Sejal Dasondi is a natural leader, a highly successful entrepreneur. Sejal is owner of multiple successful businesses, including adult daycare centers, that tells about her focus in life, care, and success. She leads these centers where hundreds of seniors getting comfort. Her attention to detail is key to her performance. Every member of these centers consider her as a daughter and the center as a home. First, food, medical support, festivals, and entertainment. Sejal ensures the members get this to their satisfaction, the underlying purpose to service. And at the turn of the decade, in the year 2020, Sejal joined hands with Sunil Hari to help empower the community with quality media. And she joined him to help expand the community with Divya Bhaskar, a premium Gujarati publication, and the Indian Eye, a premium English news publication. Being a lover of music that she loves to listen to, Sejal also joined hands in building Radio Zindagi to provide an entertainment platform to South Asians with a focus on Indian Americans. She stayed on with focus on building despite COVID and its challenges. And today, Radio Zindagi is a household name, while news publications and now new launches with NDTV and AASTHA. She expects to help make the group complete in all formats. Please join me to welcome promoter Miss Sejal Dasondi. You gotta have a lady as a part of your management, and because ladies' inputs makes a big difference. So here is Sejal.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. Good evening, everyone, and Consulate General Pradhan ji. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight and supporting us on a very short notice. Seeing everyone here, very much proud. I'm so proud to stand here before you today as an Indian woman in a leadership position, and I'm blessed to have my partner Nilesh Dasondi, who has been always supportive and definitely very intelligent person, as everybody knows, and who always believed in me, always supported me being at the top of my career. I recognize that there are so many women, and especially Indian women, who do not have these opportunities I have today. But I speak for all women in leadership when I say that as a woman, You can do everything you set your mind to, and I am proud to be leading by example. This is very overwhelming. I am proud to represent our media. Sunil Hali, thank you, Jay. I am proud to represent our media in all formatted at this level and hope to continue doing bigger things for our community as it continues to rise next level as a primary connect with diaspora. Thank you so much once again. Please enjoy the evening.
Okay, so before we introduce the next guest, I just wanted to piggyback a little bit on what the Consular General had said about getting engaged and getting involved. For those of you that are from Long Island, raise your hands. All right, so you probably read in today's Newsday, which is the region's largest newspaper, that it had an article that said, engaging with Asian American voters is a must. So I just want to, it would be remiss of me as part of Radio Zindagi to say that if you are not registered to vote, then the first thing you need to do is register to vote. You do not have to be affiliated with any party. You can register and you can vote for whoever you need to vote for or whatever you believe in. But the first step of being heard is getting involved. So get engaged, educate yourself, empower yourself. My parents immigrated here from Gujarat and Ahmedabad in 1972. They told us, don't get involved, keep quiet, do what you got to do. I'm 48 years old, I was born here, I'm telling you, don't keep quiet, get involved, and let our voices be heard. All right, so on that note, I want to introduce our next guest. Our next guest is a dear friend of mine, a mentor, a pillar and a leader in the community, and that is our very, very dear Sunil Hali. So let's give him an incredible, warm welcome to the stage. With an exclusive partnership in USA, I'm sorry, I'm only 5 feet tall with heels, so I can't use that. Okay, so with an exclusive partnership in USA with NDTV 24/7, India and AASTHA TV Network, a graduate from IITV rookie and double gold medalist, Sunil Hali has been a pioneer in Indian media, entertainment, and marketing in USA for about 3 decades. Sunil has been featured on the cover of New York Times twice for his work, with a proven track record of producing mega events, television content, launching and building premium Indian brands to leadership in USA, which includes all format of media, broadcasting, television, radio, news publications, mega events, and leading corporate brands. Sunil Hali, with a team of top professionals, is spearheading the business developments, public relations, marketing, sales, quality programming of the media under one banner in USA. And I can personally attest to the fact that he does not sleep. He's always awake, 24/7, constantly going, and he's got to tell us what his secret is. So Sunil, please come up to the stage. And in the meantime, I just wanted everyone to know that Sunil has also launched and contributed to the success of multiple premium India media outlets for India community in the USA, Canada, South America. That includes ZTV, Star TV, Times Now, India Now, PTC, Punjabi TV, Global Punjab TV, AASTHA TV, Radio Zindagi Network, the Indian Express North American Edition, Divya Bhaskar, and many, many more. Sunil, please come up to the stage. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Vaheguru da Khalsa, Vaheguru di Fateh, and Jai Swaminarayan. I say these words because they give me power. I don't know the shape and form of God, but I know there is some power, whether it comes through these words or the imagination that is in my mind all the times. Otherwise, it is impossible to be born in COVID. All the media that you see here is born in 2020. I can't thank God more than I do. These are the best 4.5 years professionally, even though challenging part of my life. But Honorable Consul General and Rhonda, for being here despite your very, very busy schedule. I know, Consul General, this was a 1 hour and 45 minutes drive, but you have gone to rest of the world, whether it was China or Pakistan, whether it was Russia. You went thousands of miles and now you have come 8,000 miles away from India to make this axis the strongest axis. You are also very fortunate that you have come at a time when Indians are happening. 13 trillion of US economy is controlled by Indians in the top positions. I wish we could also clap the same way when we speak about media. With highest respect for Dr. Vishwanath, Dr. H.R. Shah, Dr. Sudhir Parekh, and my eldest senior, Gopal Raju, late Gopal Raju, John Perry, they did a phenomenal work. Absolutely phenomenal work in building local media. But today we are a global power. It's a global world, it's a global economy, and the COVID has shown that we can only work together. But the unfortunate fact is today, our own Akshay Patra in United Nations was celebrating the 4 billionth meal to be served to an unfortunate underprivileged kid in India. There was not a single camera. There was not a single journalist. There was nobody there to celebrate. We are the 20% plus population of the world. You can put the worst article, most difficult article on the cover of Times of India, which is world's most circulated newspaper, or the Bhaskar group. It will not make any difference. We have 400 channels in India, but we don't have a single camera in America. We have radio networks, but they don't say a single word. You go to NPR, probably helps us sometimes, but we don't have a single voice. And most of us are all from similar background, very similar age group. We have a serious obligation, very serious obligation for the next generation, because without media power, you are not going anywhere. They will write a small article on New York Times and we will be shitting in our pants. But we can't do anything about it. CBS, NBC, Fox, all of them together will not write the best of the best work that Pradhan will do. They will never write a word about it. I have worked with consulates several times. I have worked with the media, but they will not take it up. Yes, if you do a soap opera like I did, if you do a program in Carnegie Hall, they will write about it. But that is not India today. India is the 5th largest economy and going to be the 3rd in this next 5 years. We have to make the change. That is what dawned upon me when I used to work with Long Island Railroad. At the age of 37, I was lucky to be assistant chief engineer. And everybody in my family told me, you are a double gold medalist, you are an IIT, and you should just go into IT sector and build. I said, I will build. But I'm here to re-engineer the media. Because without media, we are not going anywhere. 23 years, I convinced Dr. Pranay Roy to give me NDTV. He would not give it to me. He said, you can market, you can sell ads. I said, I'm not a salesman. We need content. We need presence. We have a vice president, almost president in making in the White House today, but we don't have a voice. I called Nikki Haley and I said, can you give us an interview? Because you could be the next president, or at least a candidate. She said, I don't have time for Indians. You don't have enough votes. You don't pay me enough. This is Nikki Haley's staff, they told me on my phone. I said, go guys, you will come back to me one of these days. This is what happens when I worked with my elder brother, Mayor Eric Adams. I knew him from nowhere, but I saw the commonality because he used to always tell me, Sunil, you are a brother born to a different mother. I do agree. Very similarly, very underprivileged families. He had 14 brothers and sisters, me 3. Father was just an academician, a principal. The only thing he gave to us was the 8.5, 11. 8.5 by 11 degree. We all have that common education. But I can tell you, when I was writing the list of the people who are here today, who we should recognize for their presence, I can't leave anybody out. You look from A to B to every table, every individual, they have made a difference. But it's time to break the glass ceiling of media. That is the single mission I have. And in this mission, it was not easy to start something during COVID. We moved to a new studio on 12th March. 19th we were inaugurating, and 24th there was a lockout. And I'm sitting back, when I'm going to go? So I called my brother, I said, we are going to go anyway. So let's do some difference, let's make a difference. So I reached out to my younger brother, who's here, Nilesh. He said, don't worry. Sunil, let's go and do it. It is not easy to put $3.1 million of our own hard-earned money to continue to build it. Yes, it is my brain, but technically it was not easy. 4:30 every PM. I don't remember having taken a breakfast before 4:30. And when some of my friends who call me from Long Island, whether it's Houston, I was in Houston this weekend, or San Francisco, or Toronto, or Seattle, or Chicago, wherever it is, they say, Sunil ji, आप इतनी दूर से आते हैं? मैंने कहा 8,000 मील से आए हैं, तो ये तो दूरी कुछ भी नहीं है. You are our own, but we must work together. I know it was before time that I thought about it. It's not easy to be a visionary. I am not a visionary, because for me, vision means Mahatma Gandhi, vision means Nehru, Ratan Tata, and Narayan Murthy. But the integration, vertical and horizontal, is very important, because technologically it is very feasible today. You are all sitting here, but this show, this event, the happenings that we are doing here today are going all over the world. I talk to every organization. You do a brick and mortar event, 300 people come in, nobody else knows about it. Can you send us a press release? I have to chase them. Because you go in the digital world, 2 billion plus people can see you, by chance maybe. We can do it. It's my humble request to everybody here to take media seriously. I could be a technology person, I could be a theater person because I have done enough as a talent. I could be a politician, which I don't want to be. I have been approached by both parties in New York to run for office. I said, no, sir, I'm not running for office. My brother, Eric Adams, told me openly, you are coming with me to City Hall. I said, I'm coming to you on City Hall when you are sworn in as the mayor. I'll be every time there with you, but I will not take an office. Because I represent India, the other side of the axis. Now I'm on this side, we must make this axis. Let's build a relationship between New York and New Delhi. Because the government's change, that makes a difference. In Washington, D.C. But New York is the big apple, it's the business capital. Let's build the axis very differently. 1990, there is an individual called Mahendra Taneja. I don't know if he's here yet, but Mahendra Bhai, I was surprised, a Sikh from Delhi, connecting the mainstream with our community. You each can be a Mahendra Taneja. You each can make sure that access can be connected. And I promise you, on behalf of my partners, they're more than a family. I don't want to call them just partners because it sounds commercial. Whether it's Sejal or Nilesh, and now Dr. Behani, I told Dr. Behani, you have enough time, you have enough vision, you have the connection, because it gets tiring to go to different places, because I like to be in the back end and make sure we build it. But I can assure you that we will remain objective media. Some people sometimes complain, oh, you have so many friends, you will take their sides. I will not let anybody push me to take any side but for one thing, that is truth and empowering my country. When my kids ask me, what do you do, Dad? I said, I work for one thing called Brand India. Just before I close, I want to remind you all, do not forget we are all born to individuals who were slaves. Because I know everybody here, our parents were there before 1947. I know this word is very harsh, but this is the reality. In 77 years, we don't compare with America, it's 250 years old. Compare with a 77-year-old man, and many of us here could be 77. In 77, India has come this far. We could certainly go to where Prime Minister Modi says that we could be third. He is not a lunatic who says that. At least he has a vision. He has the ambition to do it. Let's all have the collective ambition to make sure, as the Indian diaspora, which is a formidable force, with the help of media, because media today is not local, we are global. All our platforms are global. We are the gateway to the community. We are the gateway to India. We are the gateway to the diaspora. But we are creating content which is meant for mainstream. 6 shows on NDTV. Both channels, NDTV 24/7 in English and NDTV Hindi. And we are all somewhere now become very spiritual, which I have seen. That's why I chose to not go into the entertainment side, because I've done enough of that. I wanted to bring Astha. And my singular goal is to create a platform called Astha World, which will be in English, connecting us all with our next generation into the spiritual side of our character, our community, our heritage. We can all do it. But I sincerely tell you, I thank you all. I mean it, and most of people know that I don't say words for effect. I mean them. I sincerely thank each of you. Your coming here means a lot to me, because collectively, if I look at the people who are here today and the hours they have spent to be here and multiply that with a basic salary, that's running into so much money. So we better be serious about it. I am serious about it. My commitment is serious to all of you. I sincerely want to thank, definitely I want to thank all of you, but one person I want to genuinely thank. I have always thanked him. There are 2 sides of the same coin, unfortunately, because they are both my brothers. That's why I call them one brother. My brother Bobby Kumar and my brother Jay Singh. I remain grateful to you. You are my eyesight. Whatever I like to do here, I ask them for their guidance. I honestly commit, I have said this to you both, that I genuinely think you are my guiding light for Long Island. And I saw Long Island becoming, 10 years ago as I saw Silicon Valley in 1996, I see Long Island could be the most flourishing part of Indian community in this country. And we can do it. Thank you very much.
I don't think I heard enough round of applause for Sunil. Come on, let's have it. I know him for over 25 years, and I can tell you here in US, no one is more passionate about media and then connecting India and the USA than Sunil Hali. He's been working extremely hard. Sunil, thank you so much. And you know, I always tell him that somehow he manages to work 30 hours a day. But however, whatever he does, it's simply you know, interesting. So Sunil, thank you so very much. I'd like to now announce a few guests who are here. Prasanta Kumar, Country Head, State Bank of India. Rajshekhar Reddy, State Bank of India. Dr. Jagdish Gupta of AIA. Vimal Goyal of IDP. And Pradeep Tandon of IALI, Indian American Long Island Association. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. All right, as we move forward, Sunil mentioned his name, and of course, he is the backbone, he is the big force, not only behind Radio Zingi, but entire media conglomerate that we have put in together. Amazing individual with great sense and, you know, very supportive. I'd like to read about him first, and then I'm going to invite him on the stage. A highly successful businessman, Nilesh Dasondi, is a unique combination. He's so powerful that with his name, you know, the sound system goes berserk. So it's a unique combination of entrepreneurship and the community service. With a proven success as a techie, Nilesh has served as a special assistant in honorary position to Mayor Tom Lanky of Edison, which is known as Little India in New Jersey. He has led the community in mainstream engagement as well as celebration. With Navratri, unquestionably the biggest annual event in USA to celebrate the festival, Nilesh and his team has endeared themselves to the community. This event is attended by about 30,000 plus each night during the Navratri. With such strong connect with community, Nilesh guides the group for a better understanding and service. He combines business success and leadership skills to contribute to the vision and execution. It's about giving back. Nilesh owns multiple businesses in healthcare, but his mission for his involvement with the group is to build a strong bond with the Indian diaspora and the business success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President, Mr. Nilesh Dasondi. with that note, I like to request his wife, Sejal Dasundi, to come on the stage. All right, and then, of course, I'm going to request Sunil Hali to come back on the stage for a very important announcement. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nilesh Dasundi, Sejal Dasundi, and Sunil Hali.
Respected Consul General, respected dignitaries, friends and family, thank you very much. I am not going to say much because Sunil and Sejal and we are still waiting for Dr. Raj Bayan to say a lot of things about media. But thank you very much for all your support. And as Sunil said, that we really need local communities' support to develop the media. And media is going to be our strongest asset moving forward. So thank you very much for coming and supporting this event. Thank you.
So today, one of the very important announcement, and I'm sure you guys have guessed it, we collectively thought over that we need to bring another individual who has been serving the community almost individually, which is not the way to serve. We have to be collective and we have to agree with each other. We have to understand each other. And he obviously has a lot of time, energy, and he has been in the forefront of several organizations. So Dr. Raj Bayani joins our group from today, and he's here. We would like to hear his vision for what he sees and how he sees, because it is more important today to assimilate, to mix and merge with the mainstream. The rest of it is very easy. Dr. Raj Bayani, thank you.
Okay, so before we invite Dr. Raj Bayani here, I just want to take a moment to talk about his accomplishments, which are extensive and distinguished, and he has a sterling reputation in his field as a profession, philanthropic, and also in his proactiveness in the South Asian community. Dr. Raj Bayani is a renowned medical professional and is the first ENT surgeon in India who completed training in neurosurgery and also had a fellowship in facial plastic and microvascular surgery. He has published and presented more than 50 research papers, which has resulted in inclusion of his name in the marquee Who's Who in American medicine and healthcare achievements in the medical field. Dr. Bayani is professionally and personally committed to serving the community in India and the USA despite an exciting career. He currently serves on various boards as an active member of over 20 communities and associations that are involved in philanthropic and community activities. Apart from being a prominent surgeon, Dr. Bayani has devoted his life in being actively involved in the philanthropic sector. He's a leading social activist and an entrepreneur, and as you can see from his bio, it is extensive. I would like to just mention a couple of his accomplishments, and those being that he was the chief organizer for the Football for Nation initiative in Delhi by bringing parliamentarian and film stars together to raise funds for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Besides his significant contributions, I should say, in addition to his significant contributions, organizing several health and blood donation camps as well as fundraisers. So at this time, I would like to invite him and introduce him. And I just want to make one announcement. If you have your cell phones, can you please put them on silent or vibrate, because we really need to hear what everybody has to say. Thank you. Doctor, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. Honorable Consul General and my partners and friends, Sunil Hali, Nilesh Dasandi, Sejal, my friends from RPQLI, AIA, and all the organization leaders who are here. It is with great appreciation and humbleness I accept the position of chairmanship of this wonderful conglomerate which has been built. as you see, we do have many newspapers in New York, New Jersey, and even in USA. But the multi-device cross-platform, having a newspaper, radio, and TV under one umbrella, one conglomerate, is a vision which is what we have. Because as you all know, news and media is undergoing substantial revolution in last decade. The Northwestern University study in 2022 said if the current trend continues, 1/3 of the news media will not be existing by 2025. The reason being is the social media, the rise of content creators, artificial intelligence, and machine learning will completely disrupt the news media as we know and as we have seen or read over the last 25 years. The cloud technology has made accessibility and scalability as well as affordingness is very easy nowadays. The generative AI has revolutionized the contents by enabling high quality, efficient production. The personalization, which is very much the next generation is looking for. They are not interested in monologues of the news anchors which keeps for hours on the news TV channels or on the radio. They want very short, focused, in-depth coverage of the news which is to the liking of their own, what they have interest in. That's why the readership of news media is dwindling, of the mainstream media which we're talking about, the New York Times or Boston Globe, all of them are financially struggling because the rise of, as we see, alternative platforms and alternative media. The augmented and virtual reality will redefine the interactive storytelling as well as event live streaming. Any content created must be personalized, interactive, and most importantly, mobile friendly. Because as we all know, everybody is on the mobile phone probably 12 hours of the day. So every media, news media, whether it's a TV, radio, or newspaper, must have a significant, easy to access presence on the mobile phones. That is extremely important as we go forward. The 8 transformations are expected in the next decade. Expertise is one. We will see there will be very fewer, as we see mergers are happening different news medias, because the people are interested in very nimble niche content companies which are delivering a quality product. The trust, as our Consul General said, AI is creating deep fakes. So as more and more deep fakes will be created, the reputable companies will gain the trust of the people, and they will drive to readership or viewership to the media who have built on trust. The direct relationship with trust, obviously, there will be wonderful relationship between advertisers, publishers, and the readers. One of the most important thing which is happening as we see in our inboxes, the newsletter version of all the news media is very, very important, and because you get in your inbox articles which interest you, and that is what needs to be happen, and that is the future. People also are not interested in this breaking news and doom and gloom which is happening 24/7 on their TV channels. They want a mix of news. They want some positive messages. They want some health tips. That's where we can make some difference, delivering them the mixed messages which will cater to their needs and what they want. Efficiency, as I mentioned, the next generation, they like Twitter because each message is not more than 24 words. This is what they want. The big articles which you read on the Wall Street Journal or New Yorker are going to die very soon, and they will not exist as the younger generation comes in forward. So that's why the efficiency of the coverage of the article is very much needed, and it has to be done with the depth. So with synopsis, I would say, is multi-device cross-platform. That is what we're going to offer in New York, New Jersey, and entire United States. That's what we're going to do. We're going to connect with our motherland, the NDTV, which is one of the most reputed television in India, is going to be launched by us to give quality contents and quality coverage of United States and Indian diaspora back to India. As personalized and demand content, youngsters don't want bombarded. They want to see the news when they want to see it. So that's why it has to be designed in such a way that it's based on demand of theirs. And it has to be interactive. They need to be able to comment on those things and interact back to the news publishers, give their feedback. That is very, very important as we go forward. As I said earlier, that the virtual reality, artificial intelligence, is incorporation of those things is extremely important as we go forward. This is what we will try to do. We will try to bring some of these things we will be able to incorporate. But this is what we want to bring in to the American media. And as we will not want to be called, this is a South Asian media. We want to become a Main Street media in America. As we see, if you see MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, every time there is a negative coverage on India, that's because there are certain special interest groups have hijacked this media and news article writers, and they keep on bombarding with only negative aspect of India. As we are becoming the third largest economy, at the same time, we have been conveying the messages to our connections to Prime Minister's office, External Affairs Ministry, that please create a budget, and we will request Vinayji Pradhanji that we need to sanction a budget to wine and dine this mainstream media because that's what works in America. We need a lobbying firm, and this lobbying firm has to work with media and support the media here. That way we can be their ambassador to send in our true and positive news from India in America. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Behani. Before we move to the next segment of this presentation, I am very humbled by the presence of three of my family members here. One is through his spirits. First, I would like to recognize Anil Paulos, who under unfortunate circumstances left us with a short journey in this life, and he's represented through his wife. I'm extremely grateful for Elizabeth, you coming here today. Dr. Nirmal Mattu, you all know, is a big name in the island or across the country. First India chair in Stony Brook, chairmanship of Indo-American Art Council, and numerous organizations that he supports. Because of his challenging health, he could not come here. I thank him. And my younger brother, Rajiv Kaul, he's here. Rajiv, thank you very much for everything you and Nirmalji have done all along, for guiding me and challenging me to make sure we do the right things. Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you. Let's have a big round of applause for Dr. Raj Bayani, Sunil Hari, Nilesh Dasundi, and Sejal Dasundi. Dr. Raj Bayani, congratulations to you. And you now being part of our team will definitely will be very helpful. With that note, I'd like to I'd like to recognize some of the guests who are here. Kanak and Prabha Golia of Perfume Center, Sushma Kotawala, Professor Indrajit Saluja of the Indian Panorama, Jasbir Jai Singh of Hum Hindustani, Sharanjit Singh of South Asian Insider, Varinder Balla of Bollywood Insider. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Now, for the next speaker, you may have heard him on the radio, and his show is very, very successful. Came all the way from the West Coast, and when he said that he really wanted to do a show on TV, on a Radio Zindagi, every Tuesday, 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, obviously show became very successful. He has in-depth knowledge on astrology. He has done extensive research on astrology, and he continues to do research, and for him to give an advice on astrology is a passion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention to the screen, to the AV screen of Mr. Saket Bhatia, and at the same time I'd like to request him to come on the stage. He has come from California. Mr. Saket Bhatia, let's have his AV. Ashish. Dr. Saket Bhatia, yes. All right, so instead of AV, we'll have Dr. Saket Bhatia say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome astro scientist Dr. Saket Bhatia. Sir, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Saket Bhatia, and it's an honor to be here. I'd like to thank Dr. Biani, Mrs. Dosandi, Nilesh Dosandi as well, Sunil Hali, and the Indian Eye. See, although I am from California, I consider New York, New Jersey to be an extended family for me, especially the Indian community here. So I feel privileged being here as well. A little about me, I am an astroscientist. What that means is I have a PhD in electrical engineering from MIT. I have an MBA from UCLA. I also have a PhD in astrology. I have spent years and years trying to understand, practice astrology and guide people. I'm also the founder of 2 companies in Silicon Valley, and I'm a senior board member of the International Association of Vedic Astrology and Numerology, where my charter is to promote astrology, to write books, and train other astrologers. So I try to understand how planets guide you, how they shape your life, and why you are where you are in life. See, astrology is not about predicting your future. Astrology is a mirror. It tells you who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and what your true potential is. Through the study of planets, we can help guide you in all phases of your life. Are you making changes that are progressive? Is your life stagnant? Or are you having multiple changes? That's where we come in. We try to help you understand what the implications are. Over 25 years, I have helped 12,000 people, and most of them are CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, politicians, businessmen, significant leaders you've even heard of. So what astrology does is, it tells you what is coming your way and how you will embrace that challenge. So one of the most rewarding aspects of my life is when I see somebody going through a positive transformation, how life is better when you have that astrological guidance with you. So by understanding your talents, you can make better decisions in life. My mission is very simple. I use this valid science to help you become more successful in life. I want to keep this short, so what I'll say is thank you for giving me an opportunity to come up here. I am representing not myself, but the whole International Association of Astrology and Numerology here. So thank you again. I want each of you to understand that you are bigger than your birth chart. Those planets in your birth chart are stagnant, but you as an individual human being are very powerful. You can make decisions. You need to make the right decisions at the right time so you become more successful. So I look forward to connecting with some of you, so at least we can help unlock your true potential. So you are more successful in life and you have more fulfilling future. Thank you.
Okay, you know what, if I can, first of all, I want to thank everyone for attending and being part of tonight's event. What I am going to ask, if everyone can just come back and take their seats so that we can just go through some of the acknowledgments, and we just have one or two speakers, and we're just going to ask them to keep it brief. So if I can just have everybody please come back to their seats. And in the meantime, I just wanted to acknowledge some of the special guests that we have here.
Before we do that, it's a sincere request to all of you to keep it quiet and please sit down. Let's just, complete the event and then you can socialize. But it's a sincere request to sit down and keep it quiet. Please, ladies and gentlemen, that's a very, very sincere request. With that note, we'd like to acknowledge some of the guests who are here tonight.
Okay, so Pankaji Harshad Patel of Gujarat Samaj, Deepak Bansal of IDP, Mukesh Modi, BJP, Anu Jain of Jain Samaj, Pinky Jagi of IALCL, Sugat Mehta of Ganesh Utsav, Bina Sabapati of IALA, and Anju Sharma of Lions International. And once again, if we can please ask everyone to take your seats and keep the conversation level low. Thank you.
All right, we also like to acknowledge Indu Gajwani of Lions International here, Bina Kothari of Gopio, Sundar Luthara Asamiya Temple, then Gobind Batija of Asamai Temple, Gurudwaras. Let's have a big round of applause for these individuals. They are, in a way, community leaders. Also, Darshan Mehta of Balaji Entertainment. Sir, thank you so much for being here. Amita Singh of Damini, a wonderful boutique in Edison, New Jersey. Mukesh Modi of Indie World. Mukesh is here. Vikas Dal, Zaid Sayed.
Please join us again for a round of applause.
Thank you.
And the next individuals, they help keep our communities going and represent the very best of what our South Asian community is Rajiv and Vanita Kaul of IAAC, Elizabeth Palos, Tom George of Global India Council, Harpreet Kaur, Ashok Vyas of ITV Gold, Parveen Chopra of Lotus on the Mud, Sundar Ji of Asamai Temple, Prashanta Kumar, Country Head State Bank of India. Please give them a round of applause.
Then continuing that one, Akshay Chaturvedi of ICICI Bank USA, Sandy Bhatia of Flushing Bank, Dr. Sunil Mehra, Dr. Gulati, Sudhir Vaishnav, formerly with Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, also community leader. Sudhir Bhai, good to see you, thank you. Rupam Mani of Indus American Bank, Flora Parikh of Gift of Life, Pinky Jaggi of LILC, and Miss Nilima Madan, who is also part of Radio Zindagi, hosted a show on Nilima. Nilima ji, where are you? Oh, good to see you, Nilima ji. Thank you so very much. With that note, now let's go to the next speaker.
Okay, and I just want to say the next speaker, we just have a couple of speakers left, and they have been generous supporters and sponsors of tonight's event. None of this could have happened without their support. So I kindly ask if you can please listen to what they have to say. So the next person, please, can we have our supporter, Ananda?
Ananda, come on up.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I'd like a show of hands, if possible. How many people have heard of crypto? Or how many people have traded crypto? Okay, very good. Yeah. How many people have remitted money overseas? In your lifetime? Yes, I can see that. Yeah, very good. How many people own hotels and wish to have a global audience for fundraising? No hotels, no hotel owners? Crowdfunding? Okay, fair enough. How many people would want to use AI in trading, which makes you a better trader? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you for coming. I know it's a long hike. Mr. C.G. Pradhan, Dr. Bayani, Sunil Hali, and the team, and everyone who has taken the time to attend today's evening. And we have a lot of our team here, and I will recognize them one by one. So we are Ananda. We are a platform which integrates a gamified crypto exchange, which is driven by AI in terms of trading strategies. And then we have a tokenization as a service as part of our crypto exchange. We are launching in emerging markets right now, Turkey, Brazil, and the Philippines. These are the 3 areas we are launching. Then in the first quarter of next year, we're going to launch in the US. Now, how are we different from existing exchanges, or what is our secret sauce? So that's very important, because an exchange on the face of it is very simple. You buy, sell, and you collect the commission. Okay? But we differentiated our product. It took us 3 years. If you look at Coinbase, for example, they're fighting with SEC because they do not have the securities license. So at Ananda, what we said is, we are going to have compliance first. We are going to get all the required licenses of SEC, FINRA, CFTC, and then launch an exchange. We have half the licenses from FINRA, SEC already in place, and we're getting the other licenses. So US launch is what we are showcasing today. What we say is, in the US, there's a massive need for compliance. I think it's there's a massive need for compliance. Coinbase does not have the licenses. Robinhood Crypto does not have the licenses. So the SEC is suing them in courts. But we are going to do compliance first. And you may ask, why do you need to comply when Coinbase, the biggest exchange, just last quarter they made 1.8 billion in revenues, 1.2 billion in profits. That was the only profitable quarter. The previous quarters were all losses. Okay? So once you do compliance, you have to have full disclosure. You have to disclose fees. You have to make sure that the investor is protected. You have to make sure you don't front run your users. So there are many regulations which kick in. So the regulatory burden is very high. So hence, the big players would rather use litigation and not comply. But we are saying, so we're going to be very unique in that it's compliance first. The second aspect, what we have is, there's a massive gap in crypto in the US. The only game in town is probably Coinbase. FTX is gone, Binance is gone, and there are 15 other exchanges which you'll have never heard of, which have been shut down by the SEC, purely because they don't do the KYC, AML, etc. So we have a massive open space, a massive opportunity. This is like, think of right after the dot-com bust in 2001, when Amazon started. especially, it's not easy for someone who does not have, let's say, the Ambani backing or the Adani backing to actually have a $20 billion company in India. And that too, Walmart purchased it. And Walmart does not overpay. Everyone knows that. So they do not have any political backing, the Bansals, and they were able to build such, literally Amazon tried to buy them, they did not sell. So all the learnings which Flipkart had, so that whole team came over. So we ended up acquiring all the assets, the crypto exchange assets, and now we are customizing that in Turkey, Brazil, and Philippines, and we'll bring it on to the US very soon. And the beauty about that product is it is product-led growth product. At every stage, there's a gamified element. For example, you download the app, you get a reward. You do your first deposit, you get a reward. You do a lot of trades in a day, you're in the leaderboard, you get a reward. And all these are part of the product. Coinbase doesn't have that layer yet. They're trying very hard to do it. For those who trade on Coinbase, I'm sure you're getting emails saying, 5 Ethereum giveaway this week, etc., etc. But, that's not sustainable in the long run. Let's see. So the business model is very simple. It's an exchange. The more our technology is very strong. We have teams in India, in Serbia, in the Netherlands, and definitely, at every local country, let's say Turkey, we have a legal entity there. We have 4 people there right now. And in each jurisdiction, we are acquiring the licenses because our main thing is to get legal, get the licenses and operate there. Then the other aspect is tokenization. You all must have heard of, Jamie Dimon or even Larry Fink. They were not believers in crypto, but now they are the evangelists. They are on TV all the time saying that it's a 30 trillion market, 40 trillion market. So tokenization is a very, very, sunrise industry, and we are at the forefront of that. And the way tokenization, dovetails into the exchange is once you have a critical mass in the exchange, our tokens can be distributed to our users on the exchange. So those are our main things, and these are just comparisons. We can send over the deck to Sunil Halli or Harsh. If you'll need any information, you can contact Dr. Raj Bayani, who's on the board. Harsh Vyas, he's also very active, and he's member of the core team. And I'd like to recognize, Kosh, who's also a member of the core team, then Kunal Shah and Rajeshri Das, they're there, and also definitely a core investor, early believer, Anil Paulos and Elizabeth Paulos. Anil is no longer with us. I'd like to recognize those. Thank you all for listening, and remember Ananda, choose happiness, and you'll hear more of us in the near future. Any information, please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much for that very informative session. I have to say this, that I'm thankful to those who listened to us earlier and quietly sat down. But the other individuals, I like to request you again, let's not be disrespectful to the event. Let's just sit quietly. We're going to be wrapping it up very, 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 very shortly. But you're sending a wrong message to the other guests, where other guests are sitting very quietly, paying attention to what's going on here, and then you are, socializing, networking. You can just give us few minutes and let us wrap this event and respect what is the reason for this event is. Please, I can't say anything more than that. And anyway, I'd like to also recognize some of the individuals who are here. Arunji Upadhyay from BJP headquarters, Delhi, who's here. Arunji, thank you so very much for being here. And Priyatosh Dev, Hindu activist or consultant from Queens Village, New York. And Nishi Behel of Panaki Entertainment. Nishi, good to see you here. Thank you so very much. Next, I'd like to request one of our supporters and sponsors, ICICI Bank. So Mr. Niraj Katoch, I'd like to request him to please come on a stage. Let's give him a Big round of applause. Neeraj Katoj of ICICI Bank. You can have this, my friend.
Thank you. Good evening, CG sir and esteemed guests. I represent ICICI Bank in Northeast. Back in India, ICICI Bank does not need any introduction with around 5,000 branches and 17,000 ATMs. Book size of $284 billion, market cap of $100 billion. That's what we are. In US, we have a corporate branch in New York, and we are serving the ever-growing and prospering Indian diaspora by way of our money transfer services and other products. So next time you're trying to look for any kind of banking back with India, do consider us. And so that's all from my side. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much. And once again, if we can just remind everyone to just stay quiet for just a couple of more minutes. And we would like to bring up our final sponsor for the evening. And that is Dabar Singar from DS.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that. It's a true honor to be here and speak to so many of you very successful and impactful individuals from the Indian community. My name is Durbar Singha. I'm a licensed realtor in Long Island and New York City. One of the reasons I do real estate is because, like many individuals in this room, real estate has an enormous impact in our lives and in the economy. Real estate is one of the oldest and one of the most valuable assets an individual can attain in their life. The reason for this is due to its demand. As long as a human being will have a roof over its head, real estate will always have enormous value. Because real estate provides financial security and stability, it's not just a way to make passive income, but to ensure generational wealth. Real estate value does fluctuate throughout time. However, it always goes upwards. In 1980, the median house price in US was $47,000. And today, in 2024, it's $438,000. Today, inflation is hurting everyone in every way, with the exception of real estate. If inflation increases, so does real estate value. A lot of people ask how majority of successful people gain their success. Well, 90% of American millionaires have investments in real estate, according to Fidelity. Many of us might have concerns regarding the current market situation, but another perspective on this is if anyone invested in a real estate property even 2 or 3 years ago, the current value could be anywhere from 20, 30, or even more % higher. For me, I'm not an average realtor. I do real estate because I truly adore real estate, and I'm incredibly passionate in it. I had the honor to work with Dr. Bayani in many instances, and he can tell you I'm incredibly passionate in what I do. I personally enjoy negotiating good deals and getting deals done, but I also enjoy hearing from people afterwards that they are very happy with their investments. When it comes to real estate, I'm here to be by your side every step of the way, someone you can trust so that you too can achieve incredible things through the power of real estate. Thank you.
All right, let's give a big round of applause to Darbar of DS. Before the event started, he was a bit nervous about his speech because the first time he was going to give his speech, so he goes, I'm a bit nervous. But you did well, Darbar. Very good. Thank you. Like to acknowledge few guests who are here. Anu Jain from Jain Samaj. Just raise your hand. Pradeep Tandon of IALI. Very good, sir. Sandy Bhatia, Flushing Bank. And Dr. Hetal Gaur, API Board of Trustee, Dr. Hetal Gaur, she's here. Shahnaz Hussain. Shahnaz Hussain, thank you. And Koshi. Koshi is here. So thank you so very much. Now I'd like to request, now I can say Chairman of Indian Eye Media Publication, Dr. Raj Bayani to come up, right? Dr. Raj Bayani, please.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce a very special guest today, Miss Rhonda Binda. Miss Rhonda Binda, she is the Executive Director of Gracie Mansion. She is coming with a very special message from our Mayor, Eric Adams of New York City. She has held many positions. She has been a Deputy Borough President of Queens County. She is currently District Leader. She has won the People's Choice Award. She was a spokesperson in Department of State during Clinton and Obama administration. Please welcome, with big round of applause, Ms. Rhonda Binda. Ms.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Congratulations. And good evening to all the distinguished people in this room. This is really, I feel like I'm in a powerhouse right now. Honorable CG, thank you for making time to be here today. And on behalf of our 110th Mayor, Mayor Eric Adams, I congratulate you all on this momentous occasion, to Sejal, to Sunil, to Dr. Bayani. Each and every one of the people here had a very special part in making this happen. And I'm personally proud to be here with you all in celebration of what is arguably the most vital element in a democratic society. It's the free press, and especially in a setting that showcases the diversity of our community and in such ways to elevate the voices that are often left out. Connecting the world is the theme, but elevating the voices of such diverse communities is how that connection actually happens. And so there are people here in the room that do that, like the incredible international sensation, Sanaz Hussain, who has been doing that for the Guyanese diaspora, and so excited to join Zindagi Radio soon. As a former diplomat, I have to agree with you, Sunil, that here is a special time for the US-India relationship, and maybe even relationships throughout the diaspora, like with the Guyanese community, throughout the region. And I look forward to the leadership of not just the CG, but everyone in this room to strengthen our ties and to deepen the relationships. And so there's another huge congratulations I'd like to give, of course, to the cricket team for the great win. This is a special time, and it's really such an honor. The mayor sends his greetings, and I know this is the beginning of new heights for traditional and new media. Congratulations.
Okay, and as we conclude our program, I want to invite Sunil Hali up to the stage. Come on, Sunil.
One minute. You can't have dinner without Gary's permission. And Gary Baji, 2 seconds. I'm sure without him, you would not be able to enjoy any event anywhere in New York, New Jersey, and wherever they go. I have known Gary and the family since 2001, and his hands are as much hands of gold as his heart is. I have no idea what the menu is. I know what the arrangement is. We just told him, Gary Baji, we have to do this, so please take care of it, and that's all. He said, "Tusi kehta, kam ho jayega." And this is what he does. Gary Baji, you must speak and address the community in how you do what you do every day. Thank you, Bert.
Thank you, Sunil. I'm really appreciate Rajji and Sunil Bayani. They always do their event with me. Either it is in Jersey or anywhere, I'm always available for them. And I'm congratulations to him. Under one umbrella, he brings so many things. Earlier days, I remember when I opened Mint in the city, so he was having Indian Express, only one newspaper he was having. And later on, he started one TV channel. On those days, we were advertising to different category, to Gujarati to different person, Punjabi different person, English different person, Hindi different person. Now under one umbrella, He's bring so many channels, so you can have whosoever you can reach under his leadership. Every category. You don't have to go to different people. Congratulations to him, and CG is gone. Vinay ji, Vinay Pradhan ji, really I appreciate your presence here, and we watch I think India-American match together, and we've gone there. He was supporting India. I was supporting both country, America and India. So finally India win. So I'm thankful to Vinay Pradhan ji also, he's here today. And I'm not interrupting further because so many people comes to me when you're opening the dinner. So now dinner is open and you can go and enjoy your dinner. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your dinner, but enjoy your drink, but make sure you don't drink more than you can, and you have to drive safe. Thank you once again.
Since 2011, Radio Sindhi has left its listeners awestruck and glued to our jovial, entertaining yesteryears and entertaining programs from East Coast to West Coast. Tune in now to America's biggest South Asian radio network, Radio Zindagi, in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut on 540 AM, in Parsippany, Central Jersey on 1310 AM, in Edison, New Jersey on 96.7 FM, in Houston on 102.5 FM, and in San Francisco, San Jose and entire Bay Area on 1550 AM, in Washington DC, Virginia and Maryland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android and online, in Dallas, Chicago, Toronto, Seattle and Portland on Radio Zindagi app on iOS and Android, and